You had seen your future, you intentionally walked into the slaver ambush, you spent years in those mines. Finally your moment came and you pushed the hero out of the way of the collapsing rocks. You were supposed to die in their place, but you both survived. The world didn't need me. What a thing to learn at a young age. Everyone grows up thinking they're special, and so they should. The world's a miserable place when you learn how unnecessary you really are. We need that lie to get us through life, and once I lost it, I dedicated my life to the one person who actually mattered. Her name was Amber. She was to be the savior of humanity, the one that would put down the tyrannical king who had poisoned our lands, and I was to be one of the many sacrifices that needed to be made to ensure her victory. I cried so many times over that vision I had, telling myself it had to have been fake, that I didn't deserve to die. I even told my parents, who assured me it was only a dream, but I didn't believe that. When I was old enough to leave home, I tested that theory. I headed into the forest, where the slaver ambush was supposed to be. If the slavers weren't there, I could finally find some peace from my nightmare. Unfortunately, that only confirmed my fears. They beat me down and carried me to the mines, forcing me into hard labor for as long as I lived. To think the king had sunk this low, employing slavers to gather his resources. Most likely as a way to bolster his kingdom's power without risking a rebellion by subjecting his own citizens to these horrific conditions. Most days I saw someone die, either by the slavers' hands or cave-ins, and every day I would tell myself to live another day longer. When Amber arrived, this would all be over. I could have a purpose, even if it was only a small insignificant one. Though, as the years passed, I wondered if Amber even existed. Maybe this had all been a cruel twist of fate? Slouching against a recently dug out wall of stone, I closed my eyes, not caring if the hard rock dug into my skin. I needed rest. Don't die. Not yet. I told myself, clinging to that hope that she would come. Then, I heard it. ARCK. A slaver gurgled before collapsing. When I opened my eyes, I saw her. The confident smirk, the way she hadn't lost a drop of sweat despite the intense fighting she had been through. She was perfect, everything a hero should be. I stared at her, the black-haired hero only giving me a nod before turning to look for more guards. Then I heard my bell toll. Krokok, the walls vibrated, explosions being set off throughout the cave. This was it. The slavers were going to attempt to kill her by destroying the mines. I forced myself to my feet, stumbling at first, before getting into a sprint. Grabbing her arm, I dragged her towards a shortcut to the exit, seeing the light of the entrance for the last time ever. When we reached the exit, I shoved her forward, listening to the rocks crash around me. So, it was painless? To think death felt like nothing. Live like nothing, die like nothing, I suppose. This is different. A voice said. The man's voice somehow both rough and warm, like a stern father. I didn't think anyone would actually listen to those prophecies I sent out. I saw a man. Skinny, frail, but smiling. The last slivers of his gray hair still desperately clinging to his scalp. The robes he once had worn now hung at his hips, leaving his scarred skeletal upper body exposed. Who are you? A man. Who are you? I repeated, this time trying to sound less patient with him. Few people would choose to sacrifice themselves for another. Sure, a parent may sacrifice themselves for a child or a brother for a sister, but a sacrifice for the good of the world? You're exactly who I'm looking for. You're a hero. He clapped his hands. I'm dead. I thought that was obvious, since we were having this strange conversation. Yet, my response only made the man laugh. The strange figure not bothered by my attitude. No, you're not. You're unconscious. The prophecy was a test, and you passed. Congratulations. You proved we still have heroes left. I didn't know what to make of that. Did I feel relieved to be alive? Sure, but I also felt angry that this test had ruined my life. Yeah, a hero that's on his last legs. Those mines were torture. What good can I do now? I'm basically a set of bones in a skin sack. I'm only the guy that saved the hero. Only a guy? I suggest you remember your name, boy. Because only the guy doesn't exactly suit history books. I don't think you'll ever understand what you did, even after all of this. Maybe it's better that way. I will say something before you wake, though. Go claim that destiny you seek. What destiny? I'm not strong enough to do half the things she's done. Are you going to give me special powers? The old man cackled, shaking his head. Son, you already have those powers inside of you. You don't need me to give you them. Who else could survive this long under those conditions? You're stronger than you know. After a few good meals and a bath, you'll learn how strong you've become. You okay? Hey. A hand gripped my nose, causing me to choke. As I struggled for breath, I opened my mouth, sucking in as much air as I could get. When my eyes shot open, Amber released my nose, letting out a sigh of relief. Phew. Thought you had died. Would have felt awkward not saying a thank you to my hero. I coughed, giving her a glare. You couldn't have tried waking me up another way? Guess it doesn't matter. Are the slavers dead? It seemed a pointless question to ask when I looked around, finding their bodies all littered throughout the area. The ones I could find. Some may have escaped. I'm not too concerned about them, anyway. Do you know if anyone else escaped? I thought there would have been more people outside by now. If they hadn't escaped by now, they were probably dead. I could only hope that most of them escaped before it collapsed, not wanting to see the people who had been subjected to the same hell as me die such a sad death. Let's hope they got out. Yeah. She placed a coin pouch by my side. Here, for saving me. I have to get going, So hopefully this can help you get back on your feet. Wait, I want something else. You want something else? She looked herself over before covering her sword. You can't have my baby, if that's what you're asking. I'm not giving my sword to anybody. Why would I want your sword? I pushed myself to my feet, wincing as my muscles all cried out for a rest. When I was on my feet, I offer my hand to her. I want to join you. I want to become a hero. You're taking down the king, aren't you? You know about that? I know a lot of things. Please, I want to see him punished for everything that he's done. Let me help you with this. The longer she considered my offer, the less likely it felt that she would accept it. After what felt like an eternity, her hand grabbed mine, shaking it. I'm Amber. Who are you? For the first time in ages, I felt like I had a name worth saying. Like my name actually mattered, even when compared to someone like her. With a sense of pride that I hadn't felt in years, I gave my name with a confident roar. I'm Peter. Nice name. All right, Peter. Let's go kill a king. She showed me her map, her finger running along the dirt track we would be taking through the forest. After showing it to me, we were off, heading towards our shared destiny.